Hey, we're in Northwich at the Codfather. Now, I called in here last year. Unfortunately, the place had shut down. And they've got photos there on how it was before, after the fire. Oh, it wasn't good. And it was an award-winning chippy then. No doubt it'll be an award-winning chippy again. But it was closed for quite some time. We got a few little things here. The staff were lovely. Place was spotlessly clean. Lots of smiles in there. And we're parked down a street just at the back of it. There's two streets either side to the back of it, and you might find some car parking like we were lucky enough to do. We're actually parked in front of some garages, the little prefab ones, and hopefully nobody's going to come and want to get in. But that would be sod's law, wouldn't it? Right, okay, so the first thing we've got is onion rings. But I mean, to me, they're just frozen onion rings. I like it when they make their own and the batter's hanging off them. Same batters that they'd put on the fish. I love that. Not so keen on this kind of thing. You know, I don't usually buy the pre-made stuff of any kind, if I can help it. You know, sometimes there's no choice, depending what you're having, of course. It might be a gravy, or it might be a mushy peas, or it might be, that's their in-house tartar sauce. So I'm going to, actually, I'll have a little go at that with this onion ring. But it looks okay. Let's have a little slide on there. That's actually quite nice. Yeah. It's tarty enough. Very light, fluffy. A fluffy tartar sauce. It's okay. It's got everything in there in little tiny fragments. But, okay. And these... Right, okay, let's get down to this fish and chips. This is Cod and Chips. I didn't hear there was a choice of large or small or anything like that. I just saw cod or haddock. So, but then when I was leaving, I heard someone say a large fish. So whether that's an option or not, or just give me the largest fish you've got, I've no idea. But let's go for it. The chips look okay. Very uniform. The chips aren't thrilling, to be honest with you. They're okay. They're nice. Nice enough. That cod is nice. There's a freshness. Chips are okay. I mean, they've got crispy bits on them. We're only down the road here. The shop's just round the corner there. The top of the road here and a couple of shops up. Let's get back to this cod. Not a particularly big piece, but as long as that flavour's there. Which there is. Unfortunately, the batter's a bit on the heavy side. Which is unfortunate. It's a bit oily and a bit doughy. But the outside of it is really nice. But you see the thickness here of this dough. When I say dough, I'm referring to the batter, but the doughiness of the batter. So the batter's got a really nice taste to it, really nice flavour. Chips, well, let's go through it in a minute. Let's just try their gravy. It was interesting to see that in all the bain-maries, where they have the gravy, the peas, the curry, whatever, they were lined with plastic bags. You know, I used to have bain-maries in a catering trailer that I had once years ago outside nightclubs. And we never had a liner. But I can understand how ideal that would be, just to pull that plastic bag out and dump it. What are your thoughts on that? Let me know. Put it in the comments. What's this gravy like here? It's very smooth. It tastes very processed, you know, whether it's in their in-house one. I doubt it, but although there's a taste of meat or beef in there, it's not enough. It's not enough. The mushy peas, let's have a look at these. Give it a bit of a stir up. Not bad. Let's go through this a minute. Now, it's like someone's already been through it, doesn't it, in a tractor or something. I do leave a mess. The onion rings. The run-of-the-mill onion rings. I'd go with frozen onion rings, you know, if I had a choice. I never guarantee that. You can't. But I suspect that they're frozen. The chips. Chips are okay. Nothing special. They're all right. The fish itself, lovely. Absolutely delicious. Really nice. A fresh tasting, meaty cod. Lovely. Bright white. Just as you'd hope. I wish there'd have been more of it. Maybe I should have asked for a large, but I didn't see large, like I say, on the menu. The batter itself, beautifully tasting. Crispy, crunchy on the outside. Sweet. Delicious. Really delicious. But it just fails on that doughiness, which is unfortunate, really. The gravy, a little bland, and it's quite thin. So I'd probably thicken that up and get some more flavour going on in there. It's not my chippy. The tartar sauce, that was tasty. That was really tasty. I'd like to have seen a bit more going on in there and less of a mayonnaise-y taste. I know it's made up of mayonnaise, but more flavours to overwhelm that mayonnaise taste. More capers, more pickled maybe. The mushy peas, not a lot of flavour at all. And I like them a little bit thicker, but that's past, no, for me, that's cool. That's cool. It's just, I'd rather had a bit more flavour going on. Not seasoning so much, or at least not a lot of seasoning, but something. It's back to the computer, where we'll look at a few reviews. Roasting today, it's supposed to be 30. I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all. Love it. And it's back to the computer. I'll look at some reviews. A low one somewhere in the middle. A high one, then mine. And I really wish them well with this fish and chip shop, now that it's reopened. I really do. Because lovely staff, excellent, spotlessly clean. Everything was presented well. Helpful, friendly staff, like I say. And yeah, see you there. Right, let's get stuck into these reviews. 1 star. Nothing to share, really. Don't bother is my advice. Response from the owner. Thank you for your review. I cannot improve if you don't tell me why you wouldn't bother. 5 star. We went to support the shop on its first night of its reopening after it was closed due to the fire. We got the haddock and cod and were both really good. Fresh, big chunks of fish, not remotely greasy. Make sure you go if you're in the area. It's a lovely family-run business serving excellent food. Response from the owner. Thank you, Alex, for your kind review. We are so pleased you enjoyed your fish supper. Team Codfather. Mine, 4 star. I'd been eager to visit the Codfather ever since it reopened after a fire that had closed the business for some time. The young staff were friendly, polite, working hard. The shop was clean and tidy, with a straightforward menu focused on traditional chippy classics. Prices were spot on, and the cod and chips came in a generous portion. The cod was fresh and flavourful, and while the batter was nicely crisp and tasty on the outside, it was undercooked in places on the inside. The chips were decent, though nothing special. The gravy and mushy peas had just enough flavour to get by, though both could have used a bit more flavour and a thicker consistency. The in-house tartar sauce has a good tang to it, but not quite sharp enough to cut entirely through the mayonnaise. However, it was still delicious overall. Cooking in oil, card or cash, hygiene rating 5, fish review, cod. See you on the next one.